All right, welcome everybody. Good evening. Happy Tuesday to you, or wherever else you may be in the world. Happy Wednesday to you. Super excited to be here tonight. Looking forward to this two-part series. Just wait a minute or so. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Really excited to be sharing with you. Get back, relax, get out something to write with. This is going to be all content. I am going to be sharing with you the 10 steps that you need to build your seven-figure network. And so tonight we're going to be going over steps 1 through 5. And then next Tuesday, I'm going to go over steps 6 through 10. And what we're going to be talking about, what I'm going to be sharing with you is how you can build a $1 million, billion-dollar network of connections of industry leaders, celebrities, sports figures, whoever you want. That one person that can help take your business and your dreams to the next level. You know, there's a saying, right, that your network equals your net worth. And it's not what you know, but who you know. And I'm going to share with you tonight how that is so true these days. Now, some of you may be hearing me speak for the first time, or maybe don't know that much about me. Just a brief 20-second overview. I grew up in a small town in Flint, Michigan, and fired from every job I ever had. And those of you who know my story and those of you who don't, I was the last person that should have been able to build a network with anybody, given all that I had gone through. And so I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It's possible for any of you. It doesn't matter if you feel right now that you don't think you have any connections. I've been able to build an amazing network of people all over the world. I have clients all over the world in 26 countries. I have millionaires and billionaires as friends and clients, industry leaders, global icons, sports legends, and all because I've been able to master these 10 steps, which I want to share with you. There's one word. And when I say this word, I don't want any of you leaving, but when I say this word, a lot of you are going to start to get some anxiety, maybe get upset with me, but it's that one word that can change everything for you. It can change everything. And that word is networking. I know, there we go, right? 70, 80% of you are like, oh no, here he goes talking about networking. It's because you've been taught it the wrong way. Networking, I know, causes some people to get some kind of anxiety thinking, oh God, John's going to go ask me to meet people, but it's been taught to you the wrong way. Now, if you go to Webster's Dictionary and you look up the definition, hello, everyone. Let me just pause for a minute. Donato, great to see you. Selena, everybody, Fernanda, Pamela. I can't see a couple others, your names. Put your name in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. I see a lot of familiar faces over there. Leticia, great to see you. There's a slight delay. And so I'll just share with you, I just came back from, with my amazing fiance, Fernanda, we just came back from 10 days in the British Virgin Islands being hosted by one of my clients who happens to be the deputy governor of the British Virgin Islands, the number 2 guy in the territory, invited me down to speak at an event down there. And if that wasn't great enough, last Saturday, we were hosted by this amazing woman, Brittany Turner. For those of you who don't know her, you want to check her out. Ariel, Aerial BVI is her Instagram handle. She owns a private island, and her husband Jeremy hosted us. It was an amazing time. We were there with Sean Whalen and his wife, and Fernanda and I, and Dr. David Archer and his beautiful wife Allison, on a private island. There were zebras, there were wild horses, peacocks, and all overlooking an amazing view of the ocean. That's what's possible for you when you start to develop and use these 10 steps I'm going to share with you. You can have a network of people, of powerful people, that you can have some amazing experiences. Now, Brittany and her husband, Jeremy, are actually doing amazing things out there. They just got back from Ukraine. They're helping rescue orphans over there. They placed and saved almost 900 orphans. They go all over the world helping people. And so that's one of the benefits of having a network. It is so personally satisfying and fulfilling. We've got, who else? Chicago in the house. Welcome, Chicago. Let me know your name there in the chat, you guys. Great to see you, everyone from Texas and Chicago. So what I was saying is there is that one word that can change everything for you, and that word is networking. Now, when we understand what it really means, if we go to Webster's Dictionary, networking is what? It's simply interacting with other people, exactly what we're doing here tonight, to exchange information. I'm exchanging information to you tonight. This is stuff that I've learned, and I want to share it with you so that you can now start to build your network. Exchange, especially to further one's contacts. We're all here to help each other. I believe we don't need to compete with anyone, but that supply is unlimited and infinite, and that we can help push each other, to help each other, support each other, to achieve the dream life that each of us want. And especially for developing business contacts and to further one's career. Now, look, even if you have a nonprofit, the goal of a business is to make money. The goal of a nonprofit is to solicit and get more donations. Why? Because we can do more good. We can help more people. A nonprofit can help more people. And so at our company, at The Million in You, we help people learn the skills and strategies they need to live the life of their dreams, to develop the right kind of thinking and the right kind of connections, to develop a network of amazing people all over the world so that they can pretty much guarantee that their success is inevitable. All right, I see someone from Iowa. Welcome. We seem to have a large contingent from the Midwest here tonight. And so that is really what the word networking is. So I know a lot of people, they tell me, John, I'm an introvert. I don't like to meet people. Look, you weren't born an introvert. It's just something that's been programmed, right? It's something we call a paradigm, a habit. It's just a program, right? And it keeps you safe. But there are some amazing, amazing benefits to networking. I'm going to share with you tonight. And now I better be on my best behavior. Alicia's in the house. Welcome. She is always the best. One of my dearest, absolute best, most amazing friends and people on the planet. For those who don't know her, make sure you follow her. She does amazing work. And really, it is because of networking that I met her. It is because of networking that I've been able to meet some of the most amazing people around the world. I've been fortunate enough to build a network with people like the late legendary great Bob Proctor. Been mentored by him, and he was my very dear friend. Les Brown, Akon, the rapper, musician, sold over 50 million records. Been all over the world with him. Just said last weekend we were there with the deputy governor in the British Virgin Islands. I've met prime ministers. Another client of mine is a billionaire. They own one of the football clubs in England. Some sports figures. I've been able to master these 10 steps. And I don't say this to impress anybody, but I want to give you hope of what's possible. Because if I can do this, guy from Flint, Michigan, right? From a broken home, my dad was an auto worker on the assembly line for 40 years. If I can do it, any of you can. So step number one, I want you to start to really think about, right? And I want you to get something to write this down. The first step in building a 7-figure network. Are you ready? The first step is you're going to want to decide who you want to meet. Who do you want to meet? Who is that one person that if you met them in the next 12 months would change everything for you, that they would change the trajectory of your life? And so I want you to start to think right now. After this class tonight, I want you to make a list of 10 or 20 people. Do not worry about whether it seems impossible or hard to do, right? I always call this thing up here the committee. It'll start to talk to you and hold hourly meetings, sometimes even every minute, to tell you why you can't do it or why it's not possible. I'm here to tell you anything's possible. Now, you've all heard about 6 degrees of separation, right? I don't believe that to be true. I talk and speak about something called 2 connections removed, 2 people removed. I believe, and I can prove it, that you are only 2 people away from anyone in the world that you want to meet. And I just recently did a TED Talk on this same subject. You can now find it online. It just came out last Friday. But really, the idea that we are 6 degrees away from anyone has changed so dramatically up. That idea, that concept was, it's almost 100 years old. And so with social media and global interconnectedness happening so rapidly and technology advancing so quickly, we can get to anybody. But there is a certain way that you want to build your network. There's a certain way that you want to connect with people. And so I've been able to master that way. It's one of the things that I call it, we call it, our company's called The Million in You. And it's about finding that one thing that you do, your superpower, that you do better than anyone else on the planet. It's your gift. And I believe that while you're here, now everyone can argue about the before and after, but while we're here, I believe our mission is to find out what that is. Find out what is that one thing that you do better than anyone else so that you can actually bring it out. And you can actually change your own life first and then start to change the lives of those people around you, your friends and your family, your community, right? Your city, your state, your country, and then ultimately the world. What is our purpose here? Our purpose here, I believe, is to grow. Our purpose here is to help people and to leave this place a little bit better than when we found it. People need hope right now. They need help. We've been through a very trying several years. And the best way, I believe, to do that is through relationship building. And so, as I said, your network really becomes your net worth. Just ask yourself right now, look at the 5 closest people in your life and look what they do and look at the kind of money they make. And that's pretty much going to be an average of those 5 people are going to probably be pretty close to what you're making. So you want to now start to think about, who do I want to really surround myself with? So step number 1 again, right, is who do you want to meet? Just actually put in the chat right now. I want to see some names. Who would you love to meet over the course of the next 12 months that when you meet them, not if, but when, would change everything for you? Let me see. Abby, great to see you, Abby, here. Alicia says, I make millions because of John. Thank you, Alicia, very much. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, let me see some names in the chat of people that you would love to meet. I often see, Les Brown, Will Smith. Donato says Elon Musk. Iyanla, sorry. Selena, again, unbeknownst to you, one of our other clients just spent a week with her in Costa Rica. So when you start to get rid of all the limiting beliefs and start to think, wow, this is what I want. Not what you think you can get, but what you truly, really want, you realize it's a lot easier than you think. You're now, Selena, you're 2 people away from that woman. You know me, I know our client, and then she was there with her for a week. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Les is an easy one, you know that. We see Erlene Buggs. Who else do we have? Let me see some more names in the chat of people that you would love to meet. So your homework for tonight is to make a list of the 10 people that you would love to meet in the next 12 months. And so we're going to work on that. We're going to actually make that a reality. So number 1, start to work on a list of 10 people that you want to meet. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is some of the benefits. Before we get on to step number 2, what are some of the benefits of a powerful network? What does it give you? Well, there's 7 things, I believe, and you want to write these down. 7 things that a powerful network will give you. Now, the first one is access. As I said, last week, we were with the Deputy Governor in the British Virgin Islands. From that, I'm over at a private island owned by this amazing woman, Brittany Turner, and her husband, Jeremy. And now we're talking about doing other kinds of deals together and actually becoming part of some of the stuff that they're doing on the volunteer side, really doing rescue missions. We're going to a training in Nashville in June to help other people. It gives you access to people and events and places that you wouldn't normally have. The second thing it gives you is opportunities to different kind of business ventures, different kinds of investment opportunities that come along. The third thing is it gives you the ability to collaborate. It gives you the ability to say, hey, Alicia, do you know anyone that can help me? I need some help. Maybe some of you need help building out freelancing, right? And so do you know somebody? It gives you that ability to ask for help because you can't do everything yourself. So now you have a built-in go-to network, your own kind of Fiverr or Upwork, if you want to call it that, right? That you can just reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And also share with them about here's what I have to offer for you. The fourth thing that it gives you is that credibility, that authority, that you are somebody that people look up to because you're a leader. Now you're leading people and letting people know that by following you, they can get some help, that they can get a solution to some of their problems. So it gives you that credibility. The fifth thing it gives you is, and you've seen it here tonight, friendships that are priceless. I have some of the most amazing friends on the planet. Alicia is one of my inner circle people. She is a very close friend. Onyx Singal, another dear friend of mine. Jimmy Kim, Sonia Riccati. And so I have some amazing friendships, and we've had these friendships now for a decade, and they will continue until we transition out of here. I know that. And for me, that's one of the other benefits of a powerful network. The sixth thing that it gives you is satisfaction. Satisfaction to know that you help others. Can you imagine being able to go to Ukraine and come back knowing that you saved 900 orphans from being killed, from being trafficked? Can you imagine? I volunteer for a hearing aid company. The satisfaction I got because I was able to be part of that network. When little kids who'd never heard sound before were able to get that hearing aid and they turned it on and their eyes lit up and everyone's crying. The personal satisfaction to help others is something that we all want to experience. And then the seventh thing a powerful network gives you, I believe, is gratitude. The ability to say thank you every day for the people and places and opportunities that show up in our life. So that's what the powerful network gives you. Now, step number 2. Now, step number 1 is I want you to make that list of who you want to meet. Step number 2, I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you want to meet them? Some of you put in there, why do you want to meet Elon Musk? Do you want to just take a photo? Is that going to make a difference in your world? Doesn't matter. But you want to ask yourself why. Is it because you have some kind of business proposal that you want to get in front of them? Is it because you believe that by partnering with them, you can help make a bigger impact in the world? Why is it you want it? If it's just simply the little selfie, then that's a lot easier. But I believe, and I'm certain that all of you want more than that. All of you, because you're part of the Million and You community, know that we're here to do some greater work. We're here to do the greater good, to help people, to really impact and change the world. So step number 2 is why? Why do you want to meet this person? And just be very clear about the answer to that one. Now, some of the other benefits of networking, I just want to touch on this briefly before we go on to step number 3. You have the ability to help other people solve their problems. Now, right now, you're seeing all over the world, right? All kinds of problems. So there's all kinds of opportunities to help people. You can add value to other people. You can inspire others to do great things. And then you can treat each person. You can really work on this every day. Treat everybody as if they're the most important person in the world, because to them they are. And that's how we should all treat each other. You can start to bring out your uniqueness, not follow the crowd and be like everyone else, sending off canned posts and responses and stories and reels like everyone else. You can start to be yourself. In order to be yourself, you have to get to know yourself first, right? And so it's a great part of the journey, the experience of getting to know who you are. Who you are is somebody that's unlimited, unstoppable, undeniable in your gratitude, in your grace, in your greatness, in your excellence, in your ability to have, do, and be whatever you want. And so you can start to work on being unique, being different. I have something I call little things for big connections. We'll touch on that more, but it's like really making a difference in somebody's life and doing something, even the small things, to make them put a smile on their face. Now let's move on to step number 3. We made a list of who we want to meet. Now we're very clear about why we want to meet them. Now the third step is, what are we going to do when we do meet them? So is it going to be, are you going to offer to volunteer for maybe one of their events? Are you going to present a proposal for a business idea that you have? Are you going to solicit something from them? It doesn't matter, but we want to be very clear when the opportunity comes, because believe me, when you make a decision, and we'll get to step 4 in a minute, that's going to make this come to fruition, but anything's possible. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you say you want to meet. It can happen. You want to be clear about what is the purpose behind this. And so that's step number 3. Define what is the meeting for. Is it just because you're going to be around that person, that they've inspired you because you've been studying them for so long, that they've just been inspiring you? So the opportunity just to meet them and shake their hand is going to kind of like transfer that energy and that excitement into you? Or is it because you have something that you want to discuss? So get clear about what that is. Step number 4 is mindset. Now, I know everyone, you see it all day long on Facebook, right? Everyone seems to be a coach these days. That's great. But I've been, I believe, mentored by the 2 greatest people on the planet, Bob Proctor, the greatest teacher on human success and potential. For over 60 years, Bob studied this. Studied one book, Think and Grow Rich. And on February 3rd, he passed on, but I was able to be mentored by him. I didn't have any relationship with Bob. And I'm going to share with you how that story came about next week. But through these 10 steps, not only did I develop a business relationship where I made Bob millions of dollars, I developed a friendship where he became a very dear friend to me. And I was able to go see him last November. I still have the recording. He called me and sang happy birthday to me. That's what's possible when you master these 10 steps. Now, human success and potential, Bob taught me that if I just change my thinking, if I stop worrying about doing something different, because I kept trying to do different things, and guess what happened? How many of you know this? You keep doing different things, and then we keep getting the same results. We go to those seminars. Who's walked the fire, right? Walk the coals. Sunday night, you're fired up, and then we have that seminar syndrome. Within a week or 2, we're right back to doing exactly what we were doing before. We have to get to the root cause. The root cause is our thinking. And so I believe success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. So in step number 4, we're going to work on Getting rid of those limiting beliefs, getting rid of the committee that tells us, John, are you crazy? How are you ever going to meet? On my list is Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady, for me, is a great inspiration, obviously. And also, he went to the University of Michigan, so that's where I went to school. But who he is and what he does on a continuous basis is something that inspires me. So when this thing starts talking tonight to you, I want you to work on saying thank you. You can come back tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to stay focused on my goal and dream. I'm going to see myself meeting the person that I want to meet. So I want you to start to work on your mindset. Start to work on living from the end. There's a great book I love, and I always recommend it to everyone, called The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, written in early 1900. A lot of what he talks about is the same stuff, same information that you hear over and over again. Goddard talks about living from the end, using your imagination to see yourself with the wish fulfilled. So start to dream again. Start to see yourself at that meeting. Start to see yourself in front of the person you want to meet, presenting that proposal, shaking hands, changing the world, touching people's lives. I can talk all day on mindset, but for now, I just wanted to come on here and share some of these 5 steps tonight with you. But so that's step number 4. Work on your mindset and know that you can be, do, and have whatever you want, and that you can meet anyone. Doesn't matter. And then step number 5. This one is, for me, what makes the biggest difference. The biggest difference is research. So write this down. Step number 5 is research. Now that you decide who it is that you're going to meet, not want to meet, but that you're going to meet, you have to go to work. You have to do the research. You have to start to understand, what is it about that person that makes them do what they do? What do they like? What do they dislike? Where'd they go to school? Where are they from? Now, social media makes this so easy. You can find out so much about somebody. Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, website, all this. You want to start to gather all kinds of information. What are their hobbies? Do they like music? What kind of music they like? Sports, all these different things. And that's what is going to allow you to continue to actually be able to approach them, as we discuss next week on step 6 through 10. Now, it was because of research that I developed a relationship with Bob Proctor. I said earlier, I was actually mentored a lot. I got sidetracked for a minute. So I said I was mentored by the 2 greatest, right? Bob Proctor, and the other is the greatest motivator of our generation of all time for me, the legendary Les Brown. Now, I use these 10 steps to build relationships with both of them. We've done partnerships in business where they have generated millions of dollars. And I listened to Les Brown growing up on the radio. I promised my grandmother one day I would meet that man. Now I speak to him almost every day, sometimes several times per day. And I've been able to be mentored by him. And now we do all kinds of stuff together. He's become a friend as well. And so now I have the mindset, I have the motivation and the messaging. And then I've been able to figure out what it is that I love to do. My superpower, to build relationships, to teach people how to connect, to teach people how to network so that they can actually create the life of their dreams. And so when you do that, it ignites something inside of you, that burning desire that gets you excited again. You jump out of bed. You know, I hear a lot of people, talk to me and they say, I don't have any energy. You don't get energy. You already have it. It's inside. You have all the energy that you need. You just don't have the right goal. And so back to step number 5. You want to do the research. Start to gather all kinds of information. I was sharing the story with you how my relationship with Bob Proctor came about. I went to a seminar. You also want to invest, right? You want to invest in building your network. If there are events, put yourself in position to meet people. Go to places, fly to seminars. Now live events are starting back up. I went to Bob's event for 2.5 days, listened to that man play one song the whole weekend. And that got me thinking. This man has all the money he needs. He has reached the pinnacle of his career, right? He's received all the accolades and honors. He doesn't take on clients. I didn't have any money to pay him, but I heard that one song. And guess what? I used my imagination. It gave me an idea. I wonder if that guy's still alive. That led to me actually finding the guy based on research, and he wasn't really readily accessible. He was a recluse, no website, nor social media. Excuse me. I was able to get him to autograph an album, that song. I spent $5 on eBay, and I framed that album, and I put a plaque in there because Bob Proctor didn't know who the heck I was. I said, Bob, thank you for helping me see clearly now. The song was It's Going to Be a Bright, Sunshiny Day by Johnny Nash. And I left that at his next event. And guess what? The committee kicked in, and I hightailed it out of there. I left it in the lobby. I don't even know if he was going to get it. But this thing kicked in like, who are you? It's just all this nonsense. And within an hour, his son, Brian, called me back. And that thing, I will tell you, in November, I was able to see Bob at his house, sits in his bedroom, and he would see that every single morning. And he told me one time that was probably the most thoughtful thing anyone has ever done. A simple record. Why? Because I paid attention. So I want you to start to pay attention. Do your research. Find out what's important. Start to think, how can I be a little bit different than anyone else? Let me see some of the things that really are important to this person. So I want you to gather all that information for next week, because next week we're going to now talk about steps 6 through 10. How do we now bring this forward? How do we make the approach? How do we master the gatekeeper? I call it that one person removed. It's the gatekeeper. It's the executive assistant. It's the lawyer. It's the PR person. It's the friends from high school. It's the crew, right? It's the posse, whatever you want to call it. It's that one person that is closest to this person. And then we're going to expand out even further and go to that, what I call that second person removed. Somebody that knows somebody that's in the inner circle. And then we're going to kind of reverse engineer almost how we're going to make the approach. Now, I've used this. It doesn't matter. Politics, I can show you. I have normally, I've been informed by my team, and Fernanda, I'm no longer allowed to use slides, but normally I have diagrams when I speak about sharing this same information. Now, look, you want to meet Queen Elizabeth? 2 people away. You know me. I know a certain person and I got another slide with the Queen. David Guetta, music, Akon, doesn't matter. Damon John. It doesn't matter. It works for anything. And so it can work for you. So I want you to really focus on those 5 steps. Next week, we're going to come back and do steps 6 through 10. And I want to have names next week. I want to have names. I want you to have 1 or 2 or 3 things that you find are those key points that are really important to the person you want to meet. I want you to be clear about why you want to meet them. And then I want you to be clear about what it is you're going to discuss when you finally do meet them. And then start to work on opening up your mind. Opening up your mind to know that it's possible. Opening up your mind and your imagination to start seeing yourself with the wish fulfilled. And how do you do that? You just visualize, right? You close your eyes and you dream again. It's what we did when we were young, right? Close your eyes and dream. See yourself in those meetings. And then make sure you have your research done. All right? So I want to thank my team, Fernanda, Pamela, Apostle Deborah, Selena, Kalisha, Donato, just an amazing group of people, Tanya, that we have here at The Million and You. I want to thank Alicia for always supporting me. No matter what I do, you are always there for me. And that is the greatest gift when you network, is that you have friendships and people like that who will stand by you no matter what. And you can't put a price on that. All right? So again, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is John Tellerico, and I want to wish you an amazing rest of your night, amazing rest of your week. I will see you same place, same time next Tuesday, and we will go through steps 6 through 10. All right? Have a great evening. Take care, everyone. Good night.